Good morning, everyone.
Hi, Manit.
Hey.
Hi. My name's Helen. I'm from Teambase. We're an InsurTech, and something that I just want to hear maybe from the brokers and even from an InsurTech perspective as well is how or why is there a little bit of reluctance and maybe hesitance from MGA brokers and insurers in innovating and becoming more digital? And on the flip side of that, what can the InsurTechs do to partner up and promote that sort of building that ecosystem together, bringing in the consumer and tying it all together? Why is that reluctance there, or maybe hesitance? And what can the InsurTechs do to improve that?
Do you want to have a go at that,
Yeah.
or we can come back to you?
No, that's absolutely fine. So the first part of it is what you're talking about. Let's talk about the hesitance, right? We did speak about some of the challenges that we have when it comes to data, when it comes to interconnecting, when it comes to APIs. So we still continue to have those challenges. So it's about, we have our own, and I'm going to use the word here, we have a lot of legacy platforms, which is something that you're going to hear all the time, and it is a massive, and it's a true constraint. Something I think that Stephen said earlier is that we need to get to the basics and look at that first. So when it comes to even integrating and working with startups, it's about where are we at, and how do we take you along our journey? So that's the first question. And then it's about where are our partners along the journey? So the clients that we want to work with, it's about their readiness as well. And so those are some of the challenges that we see when we're speaking to startups, because we like the innovation and we like what you're bringing to the platform or bringing to the table. It's about how do we make that connect.
Okay. And as an InsurTech?
Yeah, so adding on that, there's been a lot of failed projects, I think, and quite many have that, they know that. And so there's a lot of risk in doing it, or at least a perceived risk. And so I think that also perhaps is a bit of a hindrance to actually do something. What I think from an InsurTech perspective is setting up that capability to test and fail fast, run a POC. If you are a modern InsurTech or a platform, you most likely are software as a service. You can spin up a new tenant fast without large investment. You can run a small project, test that. I think that could be one way of getting away from that, well, taking one step further. Also what we've done in terms of migration, so since everything is built on microservices, the policy microservice that we have is actually just listening from input from the quote and bind side. So in migrations, we can just cut that and feed the right premium number in, so you lose a lot of that risk that you have in migration projects, because you don't need the price structure in the new system to match exactly what you had before, because you can just tell it what the premium is. Then next year when you do a renewal, you just have a roof ceiling, and it's a lot easier. So I think finding those type of smaller changes that can help reduce that risk is the way to go.
I'll just add a few things. So I speak for Generali, obviously not for the industry. We're not hesitant to work with InsurTechs. In fact, we enjoy it. In fact, it actually sometimes is like, it's a breath of fresh air, because it's a different way of working, it's much more nimble, more agile. The real problem is we've got to get a house in order first. So we're not short of ideas in our company. Everyone's got great ideas, and you probably have seen on the innovation stage, we've got plenty of ideas. Our problem is execution. And given the sort of architectural layout we have, the IT systems we have, it's execution. So why bring in an InsurTech and frankly kill them when you're still trying to sort out your own internal problems? So we have to ride a fine balance between getting things in good enough shape so we can work with third parties, or just saying, actually, now's not the right time. Let's wait until we've got a house in order. I'll give you an example of where it has worked quite well. In the Italian market, we've actually launched an integrated product set. It's called Linea Immagina, Imagine line, and it ensures you basically across any mean of transport you take, whether it's the train, the car, the bike, anything else. If you have a breakdown, it automatically tells the breakdown company through Europa Assistance, also a member of our own group, but a separate company, where you break down. It's got the health applications. If your car is delayed on the motorway, and in Italy, you pay a toll for the motorway. If it's delayed for more than a certain amount of time, you get a refund through the insurance policy. So we are starting to get that, and we're working with InsurTechs to make that happen in Italy. But it's you have to do it on a very solid commercial basis, as you said earlier, and you have to make sure it works for the customer, and then you can say, right, let's build on it. But it is not easy.
But just to add on what we talked about, the Excels. So a lot of the all the insurers and the distributors I've been speaking to in the UK, they're still using Excels for fleet, for example, because fleet is a bit complex. We have in our product, we now have 2 ways of actually handling fleets in the system. And so what we've been speaking to several on is more on the single product digitalization. Yeah. So testing out with one product, one that has a lot of manual Excels and everything, and check that, test that, and then if it works, so then you've also limited that risk. So that could also be a potential.